Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this quick. I got a lot to show. So this week we were doing Shadergraph. I know the assignment was to take two of the ones that were in that other scene and mess around with those, but I did that in spring. Plus, another one was make a new shader that grows stuff onto a body like moss or rust. Um, I went a little extra because you said some stuff about vertex displacement, sand dunes, that kind of stuff. So created something more like that, but with snow because of the game I'm working on. And then I also did two other shaders. One was well, both were tutorials, but one of them I edited a good bit to make it more to my usability and more usability. Um, so let's get into it. First, let me really quick. Oops, wait, there we go. Yeah, oops. And I pressed escape before I needed to. There you go. Alright, let me duplicate this, move it over, and smack some water onto it. Okay, we have our water again. So I want to go over this one first, and then I'll show it all in the scene from last week. Yes. So I just did the water, so I could do. Oops, I need to click on it first and add another thing. There you go. So I have this. It's sort of like an electricity shader of how when things get electrified in games and whatnot, they always have those wacky lines going all over it. But it can be used for more things than that. So this one I turned on its stuff. So like I made it transparent, so I need to go in and fix it one more time so I can take out this base texture part so it always looks the color you give it. Um, but if you make it back to opaque, then you can automatically just put this onto whatever and you can just put the base texture and you don't have to set it up like I did with the water. Um, so I'll look and see which way is more usable, but right now I have it as transparent. So it does this sort of um, lines, so I can change its color if I wanted to. Um, yeah, dark colors don't really show too much. Like you can sort of see it. Maybe it's just really hard to see. That's why I used to with the brighter colors. So then electricity mount. Hold on. So this is dependent. So I had this lower. So yeah, you can really like sort of make the electricity go kind of crazy, and then scale. There we go. So you can have a lot of this kind of movement, or a lot less. Thickness, so you can have very stringy or thicker lines. I might take this out of from -1 to 1 and make it a little bit bigger. Noise speed. So again, you kick that up pretty high, um, and that's where you start getting the sort of rapidness. And then fade them out. So if I turn that way up, I can see all the way around. If I take this down a lot, then you sort of fade it out to just a side. So the reason why I put the water was because in games, like you can electrify the water, and yes, it's only a circle right now. That's partially because of fade them out. I can set up a warp for that. But yeah, so it's like if you have like electrified water, you can use this. Or one of the things I found was if you like make it green, um, and you just give it one direction and you slow it down. It can be like something like murky water. Um, it has a lot of usability. That's sort of what I'm going for. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, that's the first one. Then I'll skip down, that'll be last. So here's the force field shader. Um, so you can change its color, make it look really nice. Um, hmm, I'll just stick with the green. Um, so that this offset, that is used for, if you take it over here, it's using screen position, and I'll show all the graphs here in a second. It's using screen position, so it goes over all the vertices, which is a very nice effect. But if I turn it up, it covers more of the like it comes up higher. So you really want to get like that perfect balance for these, um, just so then it's just enough to like show that it's sitting there. Um, and then there's this effect up here. So if we turn the Fresnel up more, it's only on like the very edges, and you can still see underneath. If you turn it up all the way, then you get this nice like see-through effect with this moving texture. I'm going to turn this down. So I just have it set to squares, but what I like to do is set it to particle. And now you get all of these, where's my scroll speed, there we go. So you get these like cool circles. I'll move this back over here for now. This cool circle effect. You can tile it to get like a different amount. So it's really cool. Set this back down in the square, situate circle, and Fresnel down. Yeah, so see, it goes like on the edges very nicely. And then if I turn the offset up, there we go. So it's pretty cool. So I'll move that away. And now for the snow. So this one is the one where you tell it where you can put it, or do you want just noise and all that kind of stuff. Building up what's on top. So that's what the vertex displacement is for. That's to show like where the snow is. Now, as you can see, this edge, it's sort of hard to see, but I can make it easier to see, and that's why I added these things. So if you turn the snow edge all the way up, you can see that the ground starts curving up. And I didn't want that, because ground doesn't curve up towards the snow just sort of sits there. So if you turn the edge down, you get it to sit nicely onto the ground, so the ground stays flat, and then it only rises up where there is snow. Again, I said it when I was talking about this earlier, because this is the second time I have to record it because I forgot to show my graphs. But so like you can change the snow color if you want. So like yellow, you just have a ton of sulfur for some reason, whatever. I will put it back to up there. So yeah, snow. So there's like a smoothness you can do for the background and everything. Metallic, snow texture. So you can like set its other stuff, but I wanted the snow texture just because you get, instead of just a blinding white or whatever color, you get some of the other colors mixed in. So snow noise scale, so that's to that is if you're doing noise. So if you wanted random snow generation, you can set that up. Then there is, so this is the floor texture tiling. So I'll set this to a actual floor so you can see it. So right now it's a lot of tiny ones. If I set it to like 3, change the bottom, right? Snow texture tiling. So this is the texture on the snow itself. 5 has been a fairly decent number. So I'll get back to this personal in a second. Snow height, so you can have some like mounds of snow. Again, with this thing, like it shows. Then there is snow height. Snow edge is what I showed earlier, which helps to make it so the floor doesn't curve up. It sort of pushes the snow down onto the floor. This plane needs more polygons to really keep it from having these squares. But you can sort of get a nice look by mixing this and then the smooth step, which if you kick it all the way up, like takes away most of the snow, but you get like this nice effect of just snow piling up as you go. And then so there's this texture or noise, so I set this warp up, so if you want to say where you want the snow to go, I gave it the particle just because it gives you a nice circle in the middle. Set this down to 0, you get only yours. So then there's this noise in personal, so that sets it up so that a noise map comes through your personal choice, and then you can like change its size so that it doesn't look like you just have a circle. Now you have a circle, but then it cuts out some of it, so it's more randomized. And then here you can change that, so then you can tile your choice, like your snow, and it still works with all the other things. And finally, so texture and noise, you can also put this like towards the middle. So you see how I have the 9 circles? I can start turning this up. I still get my 9 circles, so those are my main spots, but I also get the extra added noise in. So like, I set it so you can clearly see that I get these lines, but then just blending in a little bit more, you still get the lines, but you also get the snow. So that it was pretty good effect. Like I said, I added in the vertex displacement. You can see it on the edges. So then, like, if something comes over it, it actually adjusts to it. The mesh collider does not change with it. I need to look into seeing how to do that. But I know we did it spring term with Perlin noise, so I'll probably just have to figure out grabbing the noise that I give it and then transferring that, and then due to its vertices, make a mesh collider out of that. So that's here. Now I can show it within my actual scene. So again, I put the snow on the ground. I have this force field to like show the snow, and then up here in the corner, I kind of just like threw the electricity. And yeah, so the snow reacts with the emission. So like it's very yellow, very pink. Shows up in the reflections. Too fast. Electricity kind of just sits there. I tried bumping up the smoothness on this. It's sort of hard to see stuff. Like you can see some of the pink on it. For some reason, these aren't getting as metal as they should be. Like I turned their stuff up, but it's not working really. But yeah, so this is sort of my scene now with snow and some shaders added in. Actually, this ball did not. I also converted this. I converted to URP. Let me just make sure that my moving sphere. That is odd. I don't know. My moving sphere is tending to look very dark instead of whiter like it should be. I don't know. I don't know why that is. But anyways, this is now the updated scene. There's still more work to be done, but for my final, I'll probably not be using this scene, but maybe some of the shaders from it, and just see what I can do. Maybe I can try and put something together after we do VFX graph to also have it where if you walk through the snow, it like cuts through the snow and whatnot. Extra things, you know. But yeah, that's my stuff for this week. Actually, not yet. Before I actually forget again, I will show off the graphs. So force field graph, not that one. That's a work in progress. Electricity graph and snowy floor. All right. So I'll just drag these over here and there we go. Now I can show them. So for electricity, I have this time and then it tiles it. I'm just going through this real fast. So then it has two different noises going inverse directions, adds them together, then it powers and remaps them. So then you get this nice noise effect where it's between -10 and 10. Then you use a rectangle. This was a really weird one for me, but it takes only the edges, and that is what gives you this nice effect. And then I multiplied by this power and then 1 minus, so that gives the edge. I multiply electricity color, vertex color, and then this is the sample texture part, but since I put it into a transparent, now it doesn't really show this part, so this part could probably be gone, but later. So force field, so you take the screen position, that's what allows it to line up on the vertices of other objects. The offset is the part where it's on the edge of those objects with scene depth. Subtract that, so that's some of the see-through stuff. Smooth step with Fresnel effect, that's the edge effect again. Multiply by, so then there's a scroll speed with this tiling of the pattern. So that's what gave me that like checkerboard effect and stuff that moved around it, and then an emission, so then I can make it glow. And then finally, so this is the snowy floor. So I have this snow placement, tiling, and offset, so I can choose where it goes. And then this noise scale, this is the one that multiplies. So then if I want to have my personal one but add in some noise, I can. Then I have just the normal gradient noise with tiling and offset to make it so that you can choose between, do you want just noise or do you want to choose some stuff? Then you come through with the smooth step and the snow height to sort of get the height and then also make the edges nice. Then the normal vector position, multiply and add, goes into vertex position. That's pretty much just stuff for the height and vertex displacement. Tiling and stuff, this is just for the base texture. Then I have my snow texture, which I warp between the two. So that gives me the, what's it called? The wood on the bottom, and then anything that's higher than pretty much the wood is snow. And then this is the position. I split it into the G, so it's only in the Y. Clamped it. Snow edge, which helps again with the edging for the snow on the ground. Throw that all up in albedo, metallic and smoothness maps. Done. Okay. Don't save. Don't save. And don't save. But yeah, so there are the shaders. There are them in the scene, and that is my assignment.